Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Tuesdays with Paula. I'm Paula K Bronte, your Master Rapid Eye Technician. And today's topic is how your attention affects your personal power. Well, we've been going through the series, the chakras, in regard to personal power. And this week we are up to the heart. We've done the third chakra, the solar plexus, and we went down to the first, did the second. So now we're coming up to the fourth chakra. And that is the heart center, yes? And the heart center has to do with giving and receiving. So I thought it was very appropriate that since we are in the Christmas season, the holiday season, that we would be talking about the chakra that has to do with giving and receiving. And as I started thinking more and more about this, I recognized how the stress level, and I'm sure everyone's noticed that, during this time of year when it's supposed to be about peace and goodwill on earth, the stress level just goes off the charts. And it's partly because, in my observation, because we are putting our attention out in so many more different ways, right? We always are working with that monkey mind anyway. However, during this time of year, there's more to take our attention, right? So what do I give for this person? What do I give for that person? If I get this many gifts for this kid, then that kid's going to be upset. What does that kid want? Whose family are we going to visit? How many fights is there going to be? There's all kinds of things, events, and people and thoughts that are grabbing our attention that usually don't. And so the heart center, which is about, again, giving and receiving, it's about giving and receiving on every level, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And so what we're doing at this time of year is giving so much of our attention out there to all these different things and trying to juggle so much at one time that we start breaking off little pieces of ourselves, right? Parts of our energy they get stuck out there. And then we're not here. We're not giving the attention out and then receiving enough back to feel grounded and centered. And so what I really wanted to talk about today is our ability to manage our attention and how that attention affects our personal power. Have you been noticing, if you're one of the many people who are highly stressed and anxious during this time, are you noticing how the more that happens, the less empowered you feel? I have many people coming to me now, particularly talking about that kind of that sense of helplessness and powerlessness, and how you get controlled by this time of year, and by what the family wants, and by what that one wants, and what I can afford, and we start to lose sight of the fact that we really are in control of our own experience. So many of us have come to believe, we've been trained to believe, that we really have no control over our thoughts, that we're just subject to whatever goes on in our brain. I love the, hi Steve, hi Al, I love the bumper sticker that says, don't believe everything you think. So start really, really noticing your thoughts right now. And we're going to go actually through a little exercise about receiving back your attention, right? And very often, especially at this time of year, that's why it's so appropriate that the heart chakra is coming into play, that what we're giving out, the attention that we're giving to these things, really does have a lot to do with what goes on in the heart, that feeling of love. Right? Sometimes it's I love this person, and we've been trained, right? I think this holiday thing is such a creation of human beings, and we just like sheeps have followed along. But anyway, that's a personal opinion. But we feel like, okay, I love this person. I want to show how I love them by giving them, yes, this thing. And how can I give it? And what should I give? And the receiving back to ourselves, not from others, but the giving back to ourselves is what keeps us in balance. And so really balance is the bottom line. If our attention is going completely out there and we're not giving attention to ourselves and what we need to feel centered and in control, then our personal power really starts to diminish. So one of the things that we can do now, and of course any time of the year, this is one of those energy hygiene tools that I love to use, is to, first of all, understand the premise that our attention, right, that superpower that I talk about all the time, is kind of like a rubber band. We send it out. However, we have the ability to pull it back in again. Right? We can take that a part of ourselves. Our attention is our energy, so it's a part of us. And we can put it out there. We can put it on a person or a circumstance or even a problem. However, we also then have the power to pull it back and bring that part of ourselves, that energy that we put out there, back. And that giving and receiving of our own energy, our own attention and intention, of our love, because really wherever we put our attention, our love is going, whether we are conscious of it or not, right? Because love is the very thing that fires, that fuels, that keeps alive our attention. So if we begin to learn and understand that we, at the end of the day, we feel scattered and drained and powerless, it's probably because through the day we put our attention, we broke off and put our attention in a million different places instead of right here where it belongs. So we can just stop for a minute and go through the day and pull your energy back. Claim your energy back. Carolyn Mace, she was really well known. If you know her, she's a fabulous teacher, been on the circuit for many years. Talked always about call your power back. And your attention, this is a really important thing to internalize. Your attention is your power. It's your superpower. Because energy follows thought. And thought follows attention. And so whatever you put your attention on, that truly is the thing that grows bigger and that you experience. So as we begin to learn that we have control of our attention, our personal power really does start to thrive. When I was 20s, 30s, many years ago, many years ago, I was following a guru. Her name was Sri Mataji. And she taught us, the premise of her meditation practice was really about attention. And so it was probably one of the most valuable teachings of learnings I've had in my life, because the ability to manage your attention is really what affects your life the most profoundly. And so I would go out in nature sometimes and I would look at a tree, right? That would be, I don't know, like right now I see a tree way across the street. And I would literally focus my attention, put my attention out to a leaf or a branch. And I would keep my attention there. It would be like a meditation practice until I felt like I was on that branch. And I could see the leaf. And I could feel the roughness of the branch under my feet. And I would really focus my attention there. And then I would pull it back. I would come back into myself consciously. And so let's take a moment and do that together. All right, just close your eyes and take a moment and just allow your attention to go out. Expand it. Take a breath and allow your attention to expand out like a balloon blowing up. Just let it go out all around you. You may find a specific thing. You may open your eyes and find a specific thing you want to put your attention on. If you're at home, it could even be an object across the room. Put your attention on that thing and feel it. Let's say you're looking at your TV. Feel the slickness of the screen and just really focus on it and be fully attentive to that TV. And then take a moment and consciously pull as if you were pulling a string, a rope, back into your heart. And again, breathe out and put your attention out to something else this time. There's a rope, a cord going from your heart to this other thing. And let yourself be with it fully. Feel it, see it, taste it. Use your senses to truly put your attention on this other thing. And now call that cord back. Bring it back. Rubber band coming right back into your heart center. It's very simple. It's not always easy, and it takes practice. And it's extremely valuable because as we go through our days and we deal with other people, we often, if they have those special cameras now that can see energy, and if you were photographing what happens when we speak to each other, right? There's all those cords going out, mostly from our heart to these other. Sometimes it's other chakras too, but often from the heart to other people. And the problem is that those cords stay there. We cord to other people, and then we pick up their energy, and we lose our own essence to a degree. And so if you start learning to do this, you have a conversation with someone, you're completely engrossed, and you're conscious of the fact that you've just exchanged an energy cord. And then when you're done, let's say you have lunch with someone, and it was wonderful, right? It could be great. It doesn't have to be a negative connection at all. It can be fabulous. However, it's still your energy that you've given out. And so when you get in your car, you're done with lunch, you get in your car to go home. Take a moment and breathe. Call that cord back. Call your energy back from that person into your heart. And you'll be really surprised if you start practicing this on a pretty regular basis. Just knowing that rubber band went out there, and just let go of it and snap that rubber band right back into your heart. Whatever analogy works for you. You'll start to notice how at the end of the day you have more energy. You're not so drained. You're more clear. Because when we are putting our energy out there, when we're giving, especially from the heart center, when we're giving and not pulling our energy back, we can become very, not just scattered, but forgetful, not able to form a full thought or a sentence. All kinds of things happen. And it really has a big part to do with grounding. I've talked often in the past about being grounded to the earth. So as we're sending that energy out, right, from our heart center, the heart is balanced by the first chakra, which, by the way, this is just kind of a funny little side note. Christmas time, the first chakra is red and the heart center is green. These are Christmas colors, and they do balance one another. They work together. They're partners. And so when we're sending this energy out from our heart and not pulling it back in again, that first chakra, which plays a huge role in grounding us, keeping us connected to the earth, keeping us in our own circuit of energy, that chakra becomes compromised. So it all works together to keep us in our own circuit of energy. That's really one of our primary goals as we begin to really get serious about raising our consciousness, is checking in on a daily basis, if not hourly. How grounded am I? How centered am I? Do I have my attention back in myself? And so if the answer is no, which is mostly going to be the answer, then you do your rubber band routine. So, okay, where did I put my attention, and pull it? It could have even been a conversation with the checker at the grocery store. Doesn't matter. Just take a minute and pull your power back, right? Pull that cord back into your heart. Make sure it's your own energy. That's just strictly done with intention. I intend that I'm pulling back my own energy into my heart from that person and bless them. The other way to do it is to close your eyes with me for a moment and see a white mist. If you are old enough, you've seen I Dream of Jeannie, the old reruns, right? And when that genie's about to come back into her bottle, she turns into a white mist. And so close your eyes. And just see that bottle, that genie bottle right there in the center of your heart. And take a breath. And breathe the white mist of your genie, the white mist of your soul back into your body. Go through your day. Do this in the evening. It's like brushing your teeth. It's energetic hygiene. Go through your day and just look at where your energy broke off, where you left a piece of yourself at the office, at the lunch, in a meeting, in a phone call. And just take a breath and just pull the white mist of your soul back into that genie bottle. Call your genie home. Call your power back. And just take a few breaths calling yourself back from the day. And then at that point, when that feels complete and full, then you just breathe right down. You can breathe from your heart center, down through the center of your body, out of your tailbone and your feet, dropping your energy down into Mother Earth. And I used to just drop into the earth. I'd send my roots down to the very heart. Now I add another piece, and I actually consciously connect with the consciousness of Mother Earth. Ask her to allow you to feel her consciousness. It's quite a powerful feeling. It takes a little practice, but she's very willing. And then you breathe up from the very heart of Mother Earth, through the bottoms of your feet, up through your tailbone, that first chakra, through the center of your body, through your heart, and up through the top of your head, and just let that energy go up to that space above you. And these are the 2 points of your electrical circuit, above your head in the heavens and below your feet in the earth. And as you continue this practice, and it takes only a second to breathe from above your head, through your body, down into the earth, and then back again, you'll start to notice that you're pulling more of your own energy back in. Your heart starts to open and loosen up, and your attention becomes much more controllable. Okay, so today's main lesson is to really start to get conscious of the fact that you do have the power to manage and control your attention. And largely because you have the power to control your thoughts. You can become very deliberate about what you're thinking. So 2 practices. Learning to do your rubber band routine, bring your attention back into your body. As you send it out, pull it back. Do the white mist of your soul, coming back in from the day. Call your energy back in that way. Do a grounding, breathing down into the earth and then back up again. And start noticing your thinking. It's the creation of all things. And know that you can control your thoughts. You have the power to do that. And when it feels like you can't, when you're obsessing about something or something keeps churning and you just can't get off of it, these are the OCD points right here. Just start tapping. Tapping, 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 and saying, stop it, stop it, stop it. 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 And what that will literally do is allow the neural pathways, the synapses, to start firing differently. It will allow them to jump to a different neural pathway, a different track, and give you an opportunity to reach for a thought that feels better. Right? Abraham Hicks, her teaching is all around reaching for a thought that feels better. And sometimes the brain gets so stuck in a particular function that we really can't. However, when we apply some tools, we certainly can, because we are never powerless. As human beings, we are never powerless. And so just start tapping right here. Stop it, stop it, stop it. And it's cumulative. The more you do it, the more you're going to train the brain to be able to switch to a thought that feels better. So know that as you go about the business of raising your consciousness, gaining power over your attention, that you have the ability to think deliberately and to control and manage your thoughts. It's probably, and I say probably, but I think pretty certainly, the single biggest job, most important job that we have is the managing of our thoughts. And know that the more we think a thought, the more it becomes a thought pattern, and the more it becomes a belief. And once a thought is thought long enough with enough emotion to become a belief, then we really are subject to it. We live our lives based on our beliefs, whether they're conscious beliefs or subconscious, whether we're aware of them or we're not. If you look at just about every area of your life, it's a reflection of what you believe. So managing your thoughts, being conscious about them, shifting the synapses in your brain in such a way that you gain control over your thinking is really, really important, because you're creating beliefs. So one of the things you may want to do, if you have 2 minutes, is to sit down and write a little list of what beliefs do I, and you may not, this may be kind of an ongoing thing, you may not be able to come up with it all at once. What beliefs do I have that are non-serving? And you may have to discover that as you see external activity and behavior. You have an encounter with someone and you walk away and it wasn't pleasant. You may want to ask yourself, so what belief am I running that caused my part in that uncomfortable exchange? You may look at your money, your finances, and see what's happening there. And say, what beliefs do I have about money that are preventing me from managing my money better? And then on the other side of that, you can look at what beliefs are serving me. What beliefs do I have are pretty cool, and I want to pass on to my children consciously, because we're always passing our beliefs on to our children, whether it's conscious or unconscious, right? Most of our beliefs came from our parents, who gave them to us unconsciously, and it goes on forever. So coming to that place of really getting more conscious about what you believe, and knowing that what you believe simply came from thoughts that you've been thinking over and over again, infused with some emotion, then you really do start to realize how powerful you are, how powerfully you can create your experience in life and influence those around you. Yes, that personal power connected to your attention is not only about you, it's about everybody around you. Because as you begin to put your attention on the things that you want to feel and think, on the things that make you feel better, your vibration raises, your frequency, the literal frequency emanating from your electrical field, starts to raise. And that affects everyone around you. And they can be raised the same. And so there's quite a domino effect. If we begin with attention and we start moving through thought and belief and personal power, the bottom line is that as we claim our true power as beings of light, as masters of our own experience, we begin to emanate an essence that brings to us experiences that are far more pleasant, and we begin to change the whole planet because the person next to us will feel a little bit better and maybe think a little different thought, and the person next to them will pick it up from them. And so it all starts with right here. It all starts with that heart chakra and what we're putting out and what we're consciously bringing back to feed ourselves. There was a movie I saw not too long ago, The Dark Tower. It's pretty good. And there was the epitome of Satan walking along the park, and there was a little boy on a bench happily talking to his mom. And this guy walked by, and he just waved his hand and said hatred. And the little boy just became really angry and started fighting with his mom. And I think there was some wisdom in that, because that really is what kind of superpower we all have. We can just walk by a stranger and bless them. We can walk by a stranger and think something wonderful for them. You know, I wish you great prosperity. And it would be a wonderful thing if we could watch what happens to that person, because we do have the power to do that. And the other way around, we walk by somebody and we don't like the clothes they're wearing, and we send them a critical thought. We put our attention on what's wrong with that person, what we perceive to be wrong, and we put that energy out to them. I'm telling you, from the studies they've done, it affects that person. They'll feel some kind of a shift in a downward way, in a lowering of their vibration. And then they pass it on and they pass it on. So knowing that your attention is truly the key to your personal power in terms of your own experience in the world and how you affect others. It's a wonderful thing to become aware of. Okay, hi Toya. All right, I do hope that this was helpful for you, and that as you go through your week, that you take a moment to pull your energy back, pull your attention back from wherever you're putting it, so that you get to have your own heart chakra, your own center fed and opened, and that you remember to breathe the white mist of your soul back at the end of the day. You left it on the train, you left it, Toya. I know you do a lot of commuting, and your attention, you're seeing people, you're around people. Take a moment and just breathe the white mist of your soul back from that train, back from the bus. Just pull yourself back in. Call your power back. And ground to the earth below your feet. Connect with the consciousness of Mother Earth that is so empowering. And then right back up again to the center of your body. And each one of those three little tools takes probably less than a minute. Okay, use them and know that I love you. And I truly hope that you all have a miraculous, truly miraculous holiday. Thank you. Bless you all. Oh, okay. All right. I'm being reminded. I do have to make the announcement about all this marketing stuff for myself. I do long distance sessions. I have people all over the country. I work by Skype and by phone. There is a book that I've written that you can find on Amazon. The name of it is A Call to Mastery, Living the Art of Ascension. And there is a workshop that I'll be conducting in the first week of February. It's a very small group. There is an interview process for it, and this workshop is really a deep dive into just cleaning up the stuff that's preventing you from really moving into your personal power to the degree that you can. So if you're interested in that, send me an email. It's Paula K Bronte at gmail.com. And we will do a little interview, some questions and answers, and see if it's a good fit for you. All right, everyone. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much for your loving attention. Bye-bye.